Type O Negative, The Green Man, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. So this will be kind of a specialty tuning here. They may very well be in some other tuning, but just trying to keep this as simple and accessible as I can. Not varying from a standard tuning as much as possible. So basically we'll have just a regular standard, but the high E string, drop it down to an E flat. So we kind of get like almost like this major thing going there with it now. So just the high E drop to an E flat, mostly just for this kind of acoustic intro picking thing. There could be other ways to do it without the detuning, but it'd be a lot more complicated. So what I've come up with here, we're basically hanging out in this A flat look. So we'll have 6th fret on the D. We'll hit that a couple times, do open high E, repeat that, a couple times, that type of deal. And then just kind of do a 6D open E just once there. So that's kind of the shuffling feel of it. Alright, and now we're going to do this scale up. And sorry, I should have been fretting that 6 with the middle finger because I need this spot here where we're going to do a 5 on the G. Alright, so we go 5G, the 6D, open high E. Now we walk it up, we make that 5G a 6. So like this, we go 6G, 6D, open high E flat string there. Keep it moving. Over with the pinky here. If you're quick, you could kind of do this move, but I'm fine just using the pinky. So we go 8th fret on the G, open high E. So we went. Okay, so now you see why we need to make use of that E flat. So like I was saying, we could do like the E flat at the 4 and then just try to do this whole jazz, And I guess if you have a capo, you could just capo the 4th fret, and instead of doing like dropping the high E string to an E flat, you could just use the 4th fret of the B held by a capo instead of doing these open high E flat strings. So if you have a capo, you can just swap that in if you want. So 4th fret for the B capoed instead of an open high E dropped. So a little special pro tip there. So after we get through that first half of it, we kind of shift positions. So we went. Now we need to shift spots, and this gets us more like a G flat kind of look here. So we'll jump over here, and we'll have a 9 on the A, and then we need to keep our 6D. So we got a little bit of a stretch there. So 9A, 6D, and we pick the 9A, 6D open high E flat. Pick that twice, and then we do the 9A open high E flat. Now we just kind of walk down this bass note, the 9A, to an 8, keep that 6D open high E flat, and then just bring it back to the 9A, 6D open high E flat. And then just before we're done, a little finishing note there, just drop down and hit a 9 on the D. So we went. And then basically we start the whole thing over. And in the intro, after we get through a first time, go through most of it the second time, basically to the point where we're going to walk down that 9 to 8. Instead of kind of like doing that and then back, we just get to the 8 and we just hit a chord. And it's this F minor flat 6 thing where we go 8 on the A and then 6 on the D, G, and B. And just kind of let that ring as we get into the next section. Alright, the chorus, verse, bridge sections here. Kick on the overdrive, get that going. And at this point, you can take or leave the high E flat tuning that we did there. Not really using that string from here on out, unless you want to do that initial part. So we'll start here at the A flat power chord, so just 4E, 6 on the A and D. And you can hold it, let it ring. I think that sounds good there because you don't want to like muddy up the picking too much that's going on top of this, that acoustic picking. You can do that, or if you want, you can just strum on it. Just shuffle, strum it if you want. But we do kind of one more hit of it, drop to the F power chord at the 1 and 3s, hold that just a moment, and then bring it up to the F sharp at the 2 and 4s, hold that out, and then we finish with this C sharp or D flat power chord at the 4A, 6 on the D and G. And I like to throw the extra octave on top with that 4 on the E for that G sharp, just to get it bigger and fatter. Alright, and for the verse, we kind of stay in that same kind of A flat area. This is a lot more just kind of like shuffle strumming through it. So we'll hit the A flat, the 4 and 6s, hit it, 1, 2, kind of hesitate once, 1, 2, and right after we hit that last couple there, slide it up to the 6 and 8 for that B flat, and then just right back down to the 4 and 6. Alright, give that 4 and 6s a couple more strums, slide it up to the 6 and 8s, give that a couple strums, and then we drop down to the C sharp at the 4A, 6 on the D and G for strum, 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 strum. Okay. And this bridge, it's just kind of these legato power chords here, chromatic, like descending. So we start at the F sharp with the 2 and 4s, 2E, 4 on the A and D there, hit it, just let it ring, down to the F at the 1 and 3s, lift off for the open E, 2 on the A and D there, and back to the F sharp at the 2 and 4s. Alright, now we get some compounded power chords here. Start with that C sharp that we've done, the 4 E and A with the 6 on the D and G. And this chromatic descends too, so down to the 3 and 5s for the C with the G. Alright, 2 and 4s for the B with the F sharp. And then just right back to the 4s and 6s.